Hello, this is Mr. Stansbury. I'm going to take you through problem solving with Venn diagrams. At the end of this, you should be able to say I can solve real world type problems using Venn diagrams. Okay, so here we go. Example number 9 here. A chess boxing club has 42 members. 30 participate in singles chess boxing and 22 participate in doubles chess boxing. 2 don't participate in either. Represent this with a Venn diagram. First thing we're going to want to do is fill out our Venn diagram with all of our numbers, and that will make these two parts really pretty straightforward. So first thing I'm going to start with here is there's 2 that don't participate in either. Okay, we know that there's 42 total, and we have 30 that participate in singles, and we have 22 that participate in doubles. So if you remember from our previous section here, we want to figure out how many total are going to be in these 3. So there's 42 total, but there's 2 that are outside of that. So there's 40 are going to be in these 3 regions here. So if we have our 30 and our 22, that's 52 total if they were all individual. So we have to figure out how much overlap there is, how many are in both, and that's where we would take 52, 52 minus, not that, minus 40. Gives us that there are 12 that are in both regions. So if we have 12 in here, then to figure out what this piece is here, we would just do 30 minus 12, and that is going to give us 18. So there's 18 that just do singles, and there's 12 that do singles and doubles, and then 22 minus 12 give us that there are 10 that do just doubles. Okay, now that we've got this all filled in, that will make figuring out these questions a lot easier. So I'm going to get rid of the 30 and the 22. That was just to help us figure out everything in here. So represent this with a Venn diagram. Did that. Find the number of members who participate in only the singles. So only singles would be 18. Only doubles would be the 10. And then both singles and doubles, that's this 12. So see, this becomes really straightforward once you have all your numbers and stuff filled in there. All right, let's take a look at another example. Example 10, a guinea pig racing league has 70 participants. 41 participate in the 200-meter sprints, and 37 participate in the 2,000-meter sprints, and 37 in the 5,000-meter sprints. How many race both the 2,000 and the 5,000? So we're going to want to make ourselves a little Venn diagram to represent this info. Okay, so let's put a Venn diagram in here and fill in what we know. So there are 70 total participants. Let's see, this will be, we'll call this one, this is going to be the 2,000 meter and the 5,000 meter, right? So there's 41 that are in the 2,000, and then there are 37 that are in the 5,000. How many race in both the 2,000 and the 5,000? Okay, so we're gonna have to assume here, since it says it has 70 participants, that since they're participating, they actually have to do one or the other. So I'm going to assume that means that there's 0 on the outside here. Okay, so we know that there's 70 total, but 41 and 37 give us a total of 78, but we can only have space for 70, so we got to take 78 minus our 70, and there are 8 guinea pigs that are going to do both. So then if we do 41 minus 8, that's going to give us 33 that just do the 2,000, and if we do 37 minus 8, that gives us that there's 29 that do just the 5,000. So then it says how many race in both the 2,000 and the 5,000? That's the 8 right here. The 8 from the middle. All right. All right. Let's take a little comedy break, and then we will finish this off. let's take a look at example 11 here. I've modified it a little bit to make it a little bit more pleasant to go through. There's also, after this, there's a separate video that shows this, this problem unmodified, the more difficult way. Okay, so anyway, example 11 here. A group of 100 avid magazine readers were asked if they read 3 particular magazines. 45 read Catster, 54 read Fate, and 53 read Beadwork. 26 read both Catster and Fate, 29 read both Fate and Beadwork, 32 read Catster and Beadwork, and 17 read all 3. Okay, so first thing, display this information on the Venn diagram. All right, so the key to making this seemingly difficult problem not nearly as bad is the big key is try to see if you can find this middle number first, the one that's in all 3. Okay, so let's see, we have Catster, we have Fate, and we have Beadwork. Okay, so if we can find the middle number, that would be the people that read all 3, and then we can kind of work out into these 3 spots here and then fill in those as after that. And then at the end, we can probably find out what's out here as well. Okay, so 17 read all 3. So there's 17 going to be in the middle there. Okay, so now working backwards into these 3 regions here where they Catster and Fate, where they like share stuff. So let's basically, I like to find that piece and then I start reading backwards from there. So 32 are in Catster and Beadwork. So there's 32 between these two. So if we take 32 minus 17, we get 15. So there's going to be 15 in here because there are now 17 that read all 3, and there's 15 plus 17. There are 32 that read both Catster and Beadwork. All right. 29 read both Fate and Beadwork. So Fate and Beadwork, there's 29 between in these 2 spots here. So we got to take 29 minus 17. That's going to give us what, 12? So there's 12 that read just Fate and Beadwork. And there's 15 that read just Catster and Beadwork. All right, so moving backwards, and I like to mark that I've used those numbers so I don't have to try to find them later. Let's see, 26 read both Catster and Fate. So Catster and Fate, 26 go in this region here. So that's going to be 26 minus 17. That's going to mean that there's 9 that read just Catster and Fate. Okay, 53 altogether read Beadwork. Okay, so what we want to do is we want to take say 53, and we're going to subtract all 3 of these other numbers here, 15, 17, and 12. So 15 and 17 is 32, 42, that's 44. So we got 53 minus 44 gives us that there's going to be, let's see, this is Beadwork. So there should be 9 in here, because if we add 9 plus 15 plus 17 plus 12, that gives us our total of 53, right? 32, 42, 44 plus 9 is 53, okay? 54 read Fate. So there's going to be 54 total in this whole circle. So that's where we'd want to probably do 54 minus, and it's going to be these 3 numbers, 12, 17, and 9. 17 and 9. So that's going to be 54 minus, let's see, that's going to be 29 plus another 9 is 28, right? So that's going to be, let's see, what, 26, is that right? Right, because 26 and 28 gives us 54, yep. Okay. And then the last one up here, 45 read Catster, so there should be 45 total in there. So we'll do 45 minus these other 3, 15, 17, and 9. Right, so that's going to be 45 minus, that's 32, plus another 9 is, 41? Yeah. So that, and that gives us then 4. Right, so that was 4, that was 9, and this was 26. Okay, so there's going to be 4 that So there's 4 that read just Catster, 26 that read just Fate, 9 that read just Beadwork, 17 read all 3. So that's how you kind of go through and read all these. There's 9 that read just Catster and Fate, but not Beadwork. Okay. Now let's do this. Let's figure out how many total are in here, because we know that there's 100 total readers. Okay, so let's see how many don't read any of these. So again, like with say this Beadwork, let's see Catster. There's 45 total we know in here. So let's do this. We got 45 in all of those. So let's add 26, 12, and 9. 26, 12, and 9. And what does that give us? All right, that gives us a total of 92. So if we take 100 minus 92, that gives us that there's going to be 8 people that don't read any of those. Okay? So once we get this thing all filled in with all the numbers, then all these questions become much, much easier. Okay, so we've done our Venn diagram. How many read just Catster? So that would be this number right here. That's going to be just, there's going to be 4 people that read just Catster. How many read Catster and Fate, but not Beadwork? So they read these 2, so that's 9 and 17, but don't read Beadwork. So we can't count that 17, so that's going to be 9 total people that read Catster and Fate, but not Beadwork. And then how many don't read any of the 3? That was the 8 that we came up with down here. Okay, so big key, start with the middle, find the other 3, like find the number that all 3 read, and then find each of the ones that they read 2 of the 3, and then we can find how many read just each single magazine, and then we can figure out the how many that don't read any of them. Okay, all right, that's kind of the big that's kind of the way you want to do the triple Venn diagrams. Okay, all right, if you have any further questions, please feel free to